and welcome to Newbie Farm version 5. This is a sneak peek, if you like. It will give you an insight into the changes within the map, and there are a lot of changes, a lot of things that have been changed that was through input, either through private message to me or through videos that I've been watching on the map. But before we get going, I'd just like to say I've never commentated on a video before, so my confidence levels won't be that high, and I've just got over a flu, so my voice is very bad. Anyway, let's get into the map and have a look around. So the first thing that you'll notice is at the top, the mixing station is actually in the map now. You don't need the placeable mod for this map, it's already built into the map and it's fully functional, so you can just head over there and do what you want, and we'll get into that more in a little while. But you'll notice that you start off where the silos used to be, like and what was up here, rye, oats and hemp. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think them was the silos up here. 3 silos. They've been removed. All the fruits are now in different silos, and we'll see them very soon. But the house was moved up here because I kind of like this little ledge up here, and I didn't want to remove it because we've got plenty of mountains in this map, and I didn't want it to feel like, you know, the best part of the map was removed. So this was added up here. I moved up from the back up to here because the farm layout's been changed. That is one annoying cockerel. The chickens was moved up to here as well. Again, because I wanted to change the layout of the farm. The water and wheat troughs was moved around to next to each other around to here, with plenty of room to actually back up into it for the tipper and the water trailer, depending on what water trailer you're using. But it's fully accessible, easy to do what you need to do. The grain ramp was added because I didn't like the other grain station. For some reason you'd bounce across it for no apparent reason, and so I added this, and it just adds I don't know, a different look to the map, I guess, or to this entrance point. As I was saying, the feeding station or feeding mixer, that's not a placeable mod. It will be in the map whether you've got it in your mods folder or not. You don't need it, and as I said, it's fully functional. You'll put your stuff in there and the green light will start, and you'll get the ticker at the top telling you when one of them's empty, one of the silos are empty. And it's something, personally, I don't like the idea. I like the idea behind the feeding mixer, I just don't like its price. I think Giant should take note of when they release stuff like this, that the default prices of things and base their prices around that, because if we look at the price for the mixing wagons, you know, it's cheaper than this. The feeding mixer is cheaper than that, so that makes these like non-existent. You don't need them, and I think Giant should have taken that into account and increased the price to like maybe 150, 170, somewhere around that margin. I'd have personally put it at 170 because it does produce 10,000 litres an hour, and it's not like you can only put so much in here. You can actually dump trailer loads of stuff in here. So yeah, Giants, sort it out, man. Like I said, mountains was built up. The liquid manure was moved over to here. It was further back, and you don't need to go all the way around it to get it to fill up your trailer, your liquid manure trailer. You can easily just triggers just here, and just do it, get rid of that. Yeah, turn missions off and reduce the time. So there's nothing back there, there's no reason to go back there, the mountain's built up. There was originally a pathway there because Ian kind of took a shortcut, and I said that I'd put a pathway there, but then I decided to change the map around, and so that pathway was removed and the mountain was built up and everything was moved. So you used to have like your sugar beet and potato silos somewhere around here. That's gone, that's now at the other end of the farm. Chickens was back there, so it's a complete change around for that area. The cow the cow meadow, that's smaller. It used to be bigger. It's not much smaller. It's just like the sheds have been moved back, so and the fence back there has been squared off. Has been put at an angle to allow easier access down there and courseplay, and that's one of the reasons for the grain ramp was for courseplay. You'll notice if you've been watching Ian Robson's Let's Play on version 4 of Newbie Farm, back here you used to have like the milk robot and the milk trigger to go and fill up. That's gone. That's been moved. You can still collect your milk from the map. You don't have to go and wait for the milk. Well, you can't wait for the milk truck to come up and collect it because it will never come. It's actually not in this map. I haven't included it. But the milk will sell at midnight, as standard, whether you collect it or not. So you're not forced to actually go and sell the milk yourself. But I added the feature in because I like to sell my own milk. So yeah, there's that point. But if you don't want to sell your own, if you want to just sell your own milk and not have the game sell it for you, this mod, Stop Milk Sale, search for it. I can't remember where I got it from. Probably Mod Holster because it's made by Maru. If all you have to do is buy it, $1 a day upkeep. Sorry about that. $1 a day upkeep and $100 to buy. Buy it, place it anywhere on the map. It doesn't matter where you place it. I do believe it has a crash detector, and so presumably somewhere where you're not going to, it's not going to be in your way. I tend to put it like behind these sheds in the cow meadow. Those who are familiar with these silos will be fully aware that there used to be, or there is, a grain station below this ground. It's because I've sunk them down. Originally I was going to actually have the grain stations there, and whatever you could take out from the silo, you could actually put into that silo. So this one doing the default fruits, corn, canola, wheat and barley, that's all you'd have been able to put into this silo. Nothing else. If you wanted to put sunflower, then you'd have had to have gone to whichever silo does sunflower. I think it's the one over the other side. So yeah, that was removed for courseplay reasons. It's not fully courseplay playable, but it's better than it was. For example, courseplay, I don't believe that you can actually have the vehicle reverse for you. I could be wrong. If you can, then excellent. You know, you can gate it back up into here, collect the seeds. The trigger's only about here, so you can actually store something at the back there as well. And there you go. Maybe your trailer or something, or your forage wagon. The straw has been lowered down. That's a fix, because in version 4, all the previous versions, the straw was higher. That's been fixed. It's now below ground more, so that when you put the straw in, the bedding rises and you can actually see it rising. As I said, the milk robot's moved. It's now in its own little shelter, and you pick up your milk from here with the signs there to indicate that that's the milk pickup point. One thing, when I was watching Ian's video, in version 4 I was going to add gates so you could access the cow meadow, and then I thought, no, who want to go into the cow meadow to harvest the grass? Nobody. So I left it, and I released the map, started watching Ian's videos, and he collected these mower, and the first place he went to go and to mow was the cow meadow, and he couldn't understand why you couldn't get into the cow meadow. And I was like, Okay, gate. So thanks to Ian, you now have a gate that's fully automated. It will open and close on its own when you're in a vehicle. Obviously when you walk you'll have to just jump over it, and it does have a crash detector in. So yeah, you get in any vehicle and just drive to the gate will open, and it will open inwards only. So um, so yeah, you'll have to be cautious of that. In fact, I think this gate's the wrong way around. Let's just get a vehicle. I think I haven't turned the gate round correctly yet. We'll find out, but those of you who've watched my other videos, you'll know that I do have a steering wheel. It's just not made. Yeah, I haven't turned the gate around, so um, that will be the other way around. Before release, it will actually open into the actual pen, and it'll open as we're facing it to the left, so you won't have to worry so much. It'll be easy to get in and out. Anyway, the bunkers, potatoes, sugar beet are now here. For cosplay reasons, you can actually go to the grain ramp and empty the potato, sugar beet, straw, grass, silage and chaff in there, and in fact you can have empty every fruit type into there, and it'll fill the bunkers and silos up. For cosplay reasons, I done that. Or if you are more into playing it as it should be played, you can just reverse into here and empty the stuff in. But it will be a little tight down here, obviously. Again, I apologise, but it hopefully the flu will, well, the cough will be gone soon. Yeah, so that's the bunkers and that, and you can just go up there with a front loader up to the ramp, empty it into a trailer, and away you go. This part of the farm is more like tight section. It's more for the stuff that you don't really use, freeing up the storage space for the bigger vehicles. And while we're talking about bigger vehicles, all of these silos have been tested with the Peterbilt from the titanium pack and the is it SRV trailer or SRV? Presume it's under tippers. I've never actually bought it. I've never got to that stage. Yeah, the SRB. So it actually has been tested, and you can back it up and get what you want. And trust me, your reversing skills will increase drastically on this map, because they can be a little tricky to do. But once you've got it down, you'll just be laughing, you know. And if you play it on multiplayer and you're watching other people back up who haven't mastered it, you'll be like laughing. You'll put a little smile on your face, I guess. Not being offensive to those who can't reverse, obviously, you know, this map, everybody has to start somewhere. Anyway, the fertilizer sprayer, fertilizer point was moved up to here, and that's fully working and functional. The shed door that you can see behind the seat pack, ignore it. It won't be like that when it's in its release. Little things like that will be modified, and they won't be like that. I get picky at things that stand out. Obviously, this shed, it's actually been here since FS 2011, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. I kind of like it. It's good for your big vehicles, combines, big trailers, seeders, etc. Yeah, sunflower goes here. So, as I said, you know, silos are here, spread around, all tested with the larger equipment. The fuel tank, I don't particularly like it in here, so you'll probably find that these doorways will be blocked up, so you can't get anything into there. or it'll just be junk placed in there to make it like, you know, like it was a dumping ground for something. The fuel tank will most likely be here where it was originally, maybe with a shelter above it, I don't know yet, but it'll probably be there again. So there's storage space for everything that you need, and there is junk spread around the map, or at least around the farm. And get rid of that. And doing Ian's video, he went to do pigs and he found out how tight it was up here to get the, yeah, there's another gate there, so you can go and actually mow the sheep as well. He found it extremely tight to get the pig trailer up here. It's still tight to an extent, but it's more spacious to get around here now. And if you're taking a trailer in here to do the bedding or the feeding mix, you can the mixed rations. It used to be extremely tight when you came out. Now there's a bit more room to get out, and it's not a massive amount of room increased, but it's more than enough. And obviously more ramps to go and collect the solid manure and load up a trailer. I haven't done it yet, but I did say to in a comment on one of Ian's videos, that, or in a private message to him, that I was actually going to put a sign here saying, you know, that this is where you pick up the pigs, because those who've never done pigs before will find it a bit confusing as to, well, there's a door here and you can drive through it, so is that where you pick up the pigs? And it would just make things a bit easier for people. Or do you pick them up from the ramps? What's the ramps for? So, you know, I will be putting signs around. There are signs being put around as it goes, and obviously the other features are still in place. The cow water, the water mod for the cows, chickens, and sheep. And these hedges, they was more for frame rates, trying to increase the frame rates whilst playing. People on lower spec systems would have in version 4 found that their frame rates dropped when they was playing this map because of the amount of detail that's within the map. These have still got crash detectors in up here. All of the hedges around the farm and fencing, etc., have all got crash detectors in. But as you get closer down to the fields, then crash detectors stopped. Probably about here somewhere. No, maybe not. Yeah. It won't actually be there, would it? It'd be somewhere here. So, yeah. So you can actually drive through everything on the fields, all the bushes, all the trees, all the fencing, all the gates. And the original shed that was there, the little square shed, I didn't like it. I got rid of it, put that one in. Can easily get the stuff in there easier and makes life a lot less complicated. This field is new. It sells for, I think, 36, 37, 36. So 36,000 you can come out and buy this field, grow something on it. And my apologies, just had a phone call. Anyway, where was we? Yeah, so this field is new. Do what you want. As you can tell, grass is no longer on the fields. Although I like the grass on the fields, I decided against it. You do have to cultivate the fields before you can harvest them, before you can seed them, sorry. And so I just removed the grass off the fields. In fact, I actually removed the grass from the whole of the map, and then I decided to go around the edges and that, and start putting the grass in place to where I wanted it, and as opposed to it being, you know, wild all place. This isn't actually fully grown grass. It's the stage before. For some reason, the fully grown grass in game it's fine. Once it's fully grown, you can still mow it, etc. But if you place it in Giants fully grown, it's bugged and you can't mow it. So I put it at the stage before, and it works fine. Why it's bugged when you place it in Giants, I have no idea. It's apparently something to do with the checkboxes, and it's not specific to this map. It's a common problem throughout the Giants tool. So yeah, just don't worry. But you can actually mow this grass at this stage. You don't have to wait for it to grow. You can actually still go and mow it. But if you leave it, it'll grow and it'll have flowers and whatnot. Um, the you do now start off with 2 fields. You start off with this field, in which is wheat, and then you start off with field, I think it's field 12 now. Yeah, field 12. Originally, it would cost you something like 80,000, and now you start off with it, and it's got green wheat placed on it. Both of which can be harvested if you put the default modified vehicles included them into your overall your default vehicles with them. Your starting equipment will all work with these fruits. If you haven't, then I'm sure there's mods out there that will work with them. You might have to edit them yourself for some of the fruits, but I would just say, unless you know what you're doing, adding fruits to things, just put the default vehicles in there. It will work. You don't have to worry about that. They will work. So yeah, that's pretty much that. But as I was saying, these hedges was, in fact, talking about these hedges, you there's a nice new feature to it because it's a foliage layer. You you can actually just cultivate them out. So if you wanted to extend your fields, and you could, you don't need these hedges. Oops, I forgot this is speed 1. You can easily just get rid of them and go and place your own hedging in. So there is that. That's a nice little thing. The downside is that if you're using the bigger tools, or you've got the AI doing it, they might delete part of the hedging here and there, or you might delete it with the bigger tools. But oh well, if you're careful, it'll be fine. If you don't care about how the hedging looks afterwards, then But in real life, a farmmaster, if they don't want to damage their hedges, they have to be careful as well. So it just adds a sense of realism to the map. And customization to the map, because as I said, you can extend your fields. The next change is the road. It's gone. It had a UV error. It was causing a UV error. I'd been planning on removing the road for a long time, but I liked the road in, and then one day I just thought, you know what, rip it out and just put cobblestones in. And it came more so as a result of a friend on FSUK. He pointed out that since the new layout of the farm, the the map will perhaps be more towards the British players, British style playing. And although I wasn't aiming a specific play type, I just wanted the farm to be more how I see a farm looking, but with exceptions to the rules in certain areas. So I did that, and then when Renando said about this, I thought, well, okay, I'll take the road up, paint under the road, modify the terrain, etc. So I did that, and now it's more of a old country roads. They've been purposely left bumpy in places to make it feel like it's an old road. It's not fully finished yet, but it will be. Yeah, the cars do drive on the left now. Seeing that it's more like a British style map, I thought, well, may as well have the cars driving on the left. And I've still got to work out if, watch the cars going around, see how they go, if they go through the bushes or something, and then move the bushes back, the hedging back, etc. But that will all be done in the testing phases. So what you see now is not the end result. This is just like a sneak peek. This is actually hasn't been in testing yet. It's had, well, tell a lie, it has had a little bit of testing done. Not a great deal, because it's not finished. Every time I think it's ready for testing, I roar it all, zip it all up, and I pass it out, and then it's like the next day something else has changed and everybody needs the updated version, and it's got to the stage where it's pointless giving everybody the updated version until I'm confident that it's ready for testing. And so yeah, like today I've already modified something else today, so if I'd given and to be honest, this map was ready for testing last week, but that's how it goes. So we'll go this way. Yeah, it like I said, the map will have a new feel to it, and in fact I can't remember if I actually done it in version 4, so we'll have a quick drive. I think I did, but then again I might not. No, I don't think I did. I think version 4 didn't have this modification done to it. It's a new field, and it breaks down a piece of the mountain that you drove between the mountain pass and to get to the bakery, and it was just like boring, nothing to do up there. At least now there's a field there. You can, as you're driving past, you can check on your field if you've got a crop on there, see if it's growing. See if it's ready for harvesting, and go from there. And this was like the hardest part of the smoothing out was here, because it goes up a slight hill all the way around. So trying to get this to be more precise was quite difficult. But here's the field. It's quite big. It, the mountain's being pushed back. Those hedges up on top of the mountain won't be there. I don't know why they're there, but they won't be there in the final version. All of these little things will be pictures taken and then passed to me during the testing phase, and with the the PDA on, so I know where the pictures was taken, and I can just go back there and go, okay, modify, or if it's pointed out to me, if things like that are pointed out to me, I'll go and jump in their tractor where they are, or vehicle, and I'll see it for myself, and then decide if it's something that does need looking into. But yeah, like I said, this hasn't actually been entered a proper testing phase yet. It's only had a few hours done, and that was just to test for errors. So you've got this field now. It gives a new viewpoint, and as you can see, nothing spectacular, but it's better than a mountain. Driving between mountains, it just gives a different perspective. The bakery itself, that's been modified. You can now get your bigger vehicles down here. It's more cleaner to get through, and most importantly, the exit is also more easier to get out of, because originally you used to have to go around here and then the exit was here, and of course the mountain came around to like close to where I'm sitting now, so if you was in the big trailer or something, you would find it very difficult to turn right. You'd have to go left. Now it's more open, so you can go either direction. This part was difficult to smooth out. It's not perfect, but it's getting there. Some more smoothing needed, and hopefully it'll be perfect. But I haven't put hedges everywhere. Like down, if you turn left here, the hedges doesn't go all the way around there. I've just put them in places that I felt that they should be. I mean, these hedges on my right might go, I don't know yet. I kind of like them there, but they might go. I just wanted to give it a country feel as well, so it was like using the middle of literally nowhere. The view distance on the hedges, they might be lowered. I will have to test frame rates for that on a lower spec system, because this system was built for gaming. Yeah, I know you probably rewind the video now just to see, but these signs here, ignore them, they will not be there. It's just using them for copy and pasting, and then removing the signs I don't want, and ending up with like this one telling you that that's the brewery. I'm not putting signs all around the map saying this way to the brewery or that way to the mill. I'm just putting them in like the actual way, the entrances to the sell points or to the points of interest. Like directly in front of us there's one there, and then there'll be one just there behind us, saying that this is the BGA. At least they should say the BGA biogas plant. It just needs moving out of the bush a bit, or the bush moving back a little bit. But yeah, this used to be a twisty road. Again, Renando off FS UK pointed it out, said couldn't you make it more accessible, so I made the pathway a more direct route down here. The biogas itself hasn't changed, it's still the same layout. You still have the gas tank at the bottom that you can fill up from, and your sell point, etc. I will say I think it's been in since version 3, but it's something I always seem to forget notifying people about. If you have lost solid manure that you wish to sell, I don't work with solid manure. I just find it a pain to use, so I always look into the only time I use solid manure is for like greenhouses. So, and I've only just started using greenhouses. But for those who don't use greenhouses, or don't have any use for solid manure, or have so much of it that they want to just get rid of it, you can actually take it to the garden centre and sell it there. And it's quite a long distance, but we could have come this way from the mountain pass, or from by the bakery, and the road down to the garden centre is just here. So it's not really that far when you take the correct route. But I didn't want the map to feel small. I wanted it to feel that when you had to drive somewhere, that it was quite a drive. Please don't try and drive through these bushes. The fencing goes through there. That's why I've left little gaps here and there so you can see the fencing. It does have a crash detector, but wrong place. So there's the garden centre, but it's actually that manure pit back there. You back up into it, and you can empty into there, and you can sell it. That plane doesn't rise, or shouldn't do. That will be tested. The tunnel has been added to make it look like the road just goes elsewhere, you can't drive through it, obviously, but it just cleans up the end of the road rather than just having a road that goes nowhere, that just comes to a complete stop. Sorry. Um, so yeah, the let's just back him up. So yeah, the the farming has changed. The map has changed. You know, you can easily see all the differences. Those of you who haven't played Newbie Farm or are unfamiliar with it will, and like the look of it, I suggest that you go and check out um, Ian Robson's Let's Play on YouTube. I believe he called it Let's Play Farming Simulator 2013 Newbie Farm. He's on episode 21 so far, so you know, go and check it out. You'll see that version 4, and then if you've watched, you'll then be able to spot the differences on this version, and you'll I personally like changes on this version. I think it looks um, a lot more better. It looks more cleaner. It looks as I pictured it when I first started working on the map, but never actually got around to doing it. So yeah, go and check his LP out and post some comments on there, etc. And like and subscribe to him. Um, but this the changes on this map have been important. It's to because I want this to be the final version. I keep saying final every time I release the new version, and I want this to definitely be the final version. And we won't look in that direction because I've harvested cultivated the hedging away, and it kind of looks ugly now. So, but I've always said that I wanted it to be the final version. Every version I've released, and version 3 was to be the final version, and then there was a bug, so a game-breaking bug, so version 4 was released, and then there was another bug with the grass not being mowable on the fields, and so version 5 was started. Version 5 has got 0 errors in the log for in multiplayer or single player on either the client or the on the host or the or any of the players who have joined. So that's all good news. And the the good thing about it is that when it comes to the testing, we know we haven't got to specifically worry about bugs so much because we've already tested every silo out. We've already tested the triggers for everything, so we know there's no issues there. We've already done that, so all it's a case of doing is going around the map, spotting things like that fence there. The piece of the hedging needs to be painted in a bit because I don't want the fence, the gate sticking out like that. So, and I don't want the hedging growing, covering the gate on the other side. So if I walked around here and the hedging was actually that you couldn't see the gate because the hedging had grown all over, I'd have deleted the hedging back a bit, pushed the hedging back a bit so you could actually see the gate. I don't mind part of it being covered because it makes it look like, you know, it's never been closed, and it's the hedging's just being left to grow wild a little bit there, and then when it was cut, it's not being taken back as far as it could have. But the 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 next thing to look at is prices. Ian, doing his Let's Play, he done one of the fruit types, one of the faster growing types, millet I believe. He harvested it and he went to sell it, and he was confused. He felt that he'd been ripped off, you know. He'd sold it and he wasn't sure about actually making the amount that he did. He thought that he should have had more for how much he'd sold. that is understandable. It is meant to be like that, but at the same time, you're meant to feel like you actually did make something from it. So the prices was increased a bit. They ain't drastically increased, but they are higher than what they was. Like Sunflower, you can clearly see that's higher than what it was. I think it was like $700, $800 on hard, and this is on hard, by the way. Um, as the game is, the map was actually produced around the difficulty of hard. The idea of it was produced around the difficulty of hard, as it has been in all of the previous versions, including on FS11. But you don't have to play it in hard if you don't want to. It's just those who like like a challenge. This is what the map's built, designed for, is for the challenge, and I'm sure Ian would agree that it is a challenge. Um, so yeah, the price has been increased slightly, and because Ian commented on the growth times, how long they was, and that I did look into them again, and I did lower them slightly. Sunflower being the most profitable fruit type would take the longest. It's still that case. That hasn't changed. The only difference is it doesn't take as long to grow. It used to take something like 7 days, 7.5 days. Now it takes 4.5 days. So you don't need to spend as long waiting. But they haven't been reduced to the stage where you can actually get a crop to grow within a game day, because I didn't want that. The default map, I actually modified that so the crops didn't grow within a game day. I hated that feature. I think it looks so weird seeing everything take 1 day to grow. And of course, everybody would just be growing canola then. So at least how I've done it, there's a punishment for growing canola. You've got a longer waiting time before you can go and harvest it and make your money. So you'd end up growing a cheap, fast growing crop, so you could actually get some money for it and cover your upkeep costs, etc. But pigs was the next thing that Ian found problematic in the prices. There was $25 that he was getting per pig, now them $150 per pig. Kind of confusing, because I'm sure when we tested it, we could have been testing on easy though, I'm not completely sure. But when we was testing, I'm sure the pigs was $100, but I haven't looked into it. I just came straight to version 5 and started working on it, getting it sorted, and here's the end result, $150 for the pig per pig. So it's not going to make you millionaire, but it's not going to make it too difficult either, or pigs pointless doing. Chaff and that has been reduced in price, especially silage. I don't want this map to be about silage. I've seen plenty of people doing Let's Plays and they've gone straight to silage and made millions, and I don't like that. I find that's exploiting a bug within the game. Even though it's not really a bug, I consider it as too easy, and I don't like easy. I'm one of these, as soon as I get all the good equipment, I get bored and I have to start again, or I have to find something else to do. So I'll play for a short period of time with the good equipment, and then as soon as I get bored, it's goodbye. I delete that save game and I start a fresh game. So yeah, that's me. I know some people like to do a lot of multiplayer games, and that's why they have the big equipment, and they ain't bothered about how much they make. They store most of their stuff and then sell it on great demands and just stockpile their money. That's fair enough. Everybody has their own play style. Mine isn't like that. I don't really play much on multiplayer, mostly because I do a lot of racing on F1. So my my time for farming is a lot lower than what it used to be. Anyway, this has been Newbie Farm. There's the saying. This has been Newbie Farm, which is still in. I haven't took it out. This is Newbie Farm version 5, the sneak peek. Hope you like the changes. Comment, subscribe. I don't mind, people commenting and saying their voicing their opinions. As long as it's constructive, I don't mind. Just don't go on there, don't post something and say, I don't like the hedges, they look crap. Give me a reason as to why they look crap, you know, and I'll probably tell you that I like the hedges and I'm staying, but anyway, that's me. But if it's constructive criticism, I'll accept it. You know, everybody's entitled to their opinion, as long as it's not something that's just put on there just for the hell of it. You know, if you can't think of anything to say, don't say it. Just like the video instead, and that's enough. So yeah, this has been Newbie Farm. Will I be doing another one like this where I'm doing a commentating? Maybe. It might. If I do so, it'll be in multiplayer when it's going through its testing phase, and the testing phase will actually be us playing normal, and then just pointing out things as we go along. And then that will just be like the basic testing. Then the full testing will be us actually going around looking for faults, and me being picky as always. But that might happen. I can't say if it will for definite, but it might happen. It most likely will, but it won't be for a while yet. Everybody's busy and the map isn't actually fully finished yet. So until I'm confident that the map is ready for testing, nobody's getting the map. So thank you for watching. Hope you have a good day. Like, comment, subscribe, and catch you all later. Thank you for watching. Good day.